Welcome back to the Comic Educator, the channel where we break down comic book characters, forgotten teams, and the wild creativity of 80s and 90s comics. Today we're talking about one of the most underrated members of Gen 13, Rainmaker. Now, if you were a comic fan in the 90s, you probably remember the flashy covers, wild costumes, big action, and attitude that made Wildstorm Productions stand out. What hidden inside all that style was a character who was way deeper than people gave her credit for. Rainmaker, also known as Sarah Rainmaker, was one of the original members of Gen 13. She first appeared when the team debuted under the creative minds of Jim Lee, Brandon Choi, and J. Scott Campbell. At first glance, Rainmaker looked like the cool, laid-back Archer-type character. But then you realize she controls the weather. That's right, Rainmaker had powers over wind, lightning, storms, and atmospheric energy. She could summon thunder, create devastating lightning blasts, manipulate the air, and basically turn the battlefield into her personal forecast. Imagine fighting somebody and suddenly hearing, "Tonight's weather report, pain with a 100% chance of lightning." That alone makes her one of the coolest power sets in the entire team. But Rainmaker wasn't just powers. She had personality too. She was often portrayed as calm, intelligent, spiritual, and more grounded than some of the louder members of the team. While others were cracking jokes or causing chaos, Rainmaker often felt like someone who could actually sit down and think things through. And in a team like Gen 13, that was necessary. She also stood out for something else that mattered in comics. Rainmaker became one of the more notable LGBTQ characters of that era, which was still pretty uncommon in mainstream superhero books at the time. That gave the character an extra layer of importance beyond just action scenes and powers. Representation aside, she was simply cool. She had the look, she had the attitude, she had lightning powers. And let's be honest, where the powers are slept on. Everybody loves fire powers until Rainmaker floods the room, summons a tornado, and drops thunder on your whole squad. Now, one thing about Gen 13 characters is that sometimes they got overshadowed by the louder personalities. Fairchild was the powerhouse, Grunge was the comic relief, Burnout had the edge. But Rainmaker, she was the stealth favorite. The character had mystery. She had presence. She didn't need to scream to stand out. That's a trait a lot of modern characters could learn from. So if you remember 90s comics, tell me in the comments. Was Rainmaker the most underrated member of Gen 13? And if you want more deep dives into forgotten comic characters, 80s and 90s nostalgia, and all things nerd culture, make sure you like, subscribe, and join us here at the Comic Educator, because sometimes the coolest characters were never the loudest ones.